I've always been fascinated by the dark web, that hidden corner of the internet where the darkest secrets and the most sinister activities thrive. I had heard countless tales of the horrors that lurked in its depths, but I was a curious soul, unable to resist the temptation of venturing into the abyss. One gloomy night, when the world outside was shrouded in an eerie silence, I decided to take the plunge. I fired up my Tor browser and started my journey into the unknown. The first few websites I visited were what you might expect: black markets, hacking forums, and other shady corners of the web. But then, I stumbled upon a link that promised something different. It was called the Shadowed Abyss. Intrigued and slightly terrified, I clicked the link and was immediately greeted by a black screen with a single, blinking cursor. A message appeared in green text, slowly typing itself out before my eyes. "Welcome, seeker of the shadows. Dare you tread further into the abyss?" My heart raced, but my curiosity overpowered my fear. I typed yes and hit enter. The screen went black for a moment, and when it returned, I found myself in a dimly lit room. The walls were covered in what looked like ancient, decaying wallpaper. In the center of the room, there was a single, flickering candle on a table. As I cautiously approached the table, a whisper filled the room, chilling me to the bone. "You have entered the abyss, a realm of the darkest nightmares and forbidden knowledge," it hissed. I looked around, trying to locate the source of the voice, but I saw nothing. I felt a presence, though, an otherworldly presence that seemed to watch my every move. My heart pounded, and I wondered if I had made a grave mistake. Suddenly, the candle's flame intensified, casting grotesque shadows on the walls. The shadows twisted and contorted, forming monstrous shapes and sinister figures. They whispered terrible secrets and beckoned me closer, their voices a cacophony of despair. I couldn't tear my eyes away from the horrors dancing before me. It was as if I had been ensnared in a web of darkness, unable to escape. The room grew colder, and I could see my breath in the frigid air. Then, a mirror materialized on the opposite wall, reflecting my terrified face. But it wasn't just my reflection. It showed me different versions of myself, each one trapped in a nightmarish scenario. In one, I was drowning in a sea of blood. In another, I was being chased by grotesque creatures through a labyrinthine maze. Each reflection was more horrifying than the last. I tried to turn away, but I couldn't break free from the mirror's gaze. The room continued to pulse with malevolent energy, and the whispers grew louder, filling my head with unspeakable horrors. Just as I thought I would succumb to madness, the candle went out, plunging the room into absolute darkness. The whispers ceased, and I was left in a void of silence. I fumbled for my keyboard and typed exit as quickly as my trembling fingers would allow. The screen went black, and I was back in the safety of my own room, bathed in the soft glow of my computer monitor. I never ventured into the dark web again after that night. The horrors I encountered in the shadowed abyss were too much for my fragile psyche to bear. I had glimpsed the true darkness that lurked on the fringes of the internet, and it was a place I never wanted to visit again. To this day, I still hear the whispers in the darkest corners of my mind. A haunting reminder of the night I dared to tread into the abyss.